Hello friends, welcome to my latest video. This is my entry into the Dip into Fall collab. I will be showing how to do a glitter ombre using gel method over a dip solid. So a little confusing, but you'll see as we go. I had surgery, so my dominant hand is not as dexterous as it needs to be really right now. So I wanted to actually show that there are multiple ways to do things, and if you are new or having some physical issues like I am, you can still have great looking nails and just find other ways to do it. So I hope everybody enjoys. So I'm buffing over a set of full cover tips. I use the Enailcouture Sport Length, and they're shiny because I did full like gel and coat and everything. So you need to buff over them to rough them up a little bit so you can apply dip on top or gel polish. It's generally recommended that you file and buff the full cover tips prior to any other product application. And I'm going to brush off the dust with my nail duster. I'm going to use the nail prep from Nail Addiction to dehydrate and prepare my full cover tips. I'm using Nail Addiction's base and top coat for my dip today. I will be applying one coat almost to my cuticle, and then I will be doing pour over to try to keep the dip as thin as possible because it's going over these full cover tips. If you're not careful, they can become very thick very quickly. Make sure to tap off any excess powder while you're doing the pour over, same if you're dipping. If you need to, you can use a toothpick to clean around your cuticle. I'll show you that a little bit later because right now I'm trying not to get to my cuticle. I want the first layer to be almost there but not quite, so I can have a clean cuticle line. I love this nail brush I'm using. I actually got it on Amazon. It's really cute and it comes in gold as well. I just thought it was a really aesthetic piece, and I think it really suits the going into fall / Halloween vibes. I'm kind of trying to skip straight to Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. I'm now taking the second and final dip all the way to my cuticle, keeping an eye on the cuticle line and making sure that I don't get it on my skin. If I do, you usually can tell after you've done the pour over or the dip, and then you can take your orange stick, toothpick, dotting tool, and just clean up that line. You just take it from side to side and create a nice clean cuticle line. Pardon the occasional fuzzes that you'll see. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. 3 out of 4 are rescues, and they come with quite a bit of fur. I think any animal lover will be familiar with that. Nothing worse than you finish your manicure, you get it activated, and you look down and somehow you missed a piece of cat fur or dog fur. And what do? I try to hide it. I throw glitter at it. What do you guys do? I'm not sure if you can tell, but Nail Addition's base is a little bit thinner, and I really like using that kind of a liquid when I'm working with a solid or a creme, versus when I'm working with like a chunky glitter. Then I might prefer to use a thicker base like Sparkle & Co.'s. It's really good for filling in the gaps between the glitter pieces, and you get a smoother application. And when you do your clear cap on your glitter, it really gets in between the pieces and it will cure and stay. So I actually have several liquids that I keep around just for different projects, different manicures, different glitters. And yeah, so I say shop around until you find what you like, and you might find that you like a couple. I found I didn't have to do a lot of shaping because I did use the thinner base. This is actually some pre-shaping. I'm just going in and kind of trying to take down the sides a little bit. I haven't activated yet. Sometimes if you know the powder that you're dealing with, you can know that this is okay to do. Often it's not. It might just come off in chunks. So proceed with caution, do as I say, not as I do, until you're familiar with your product. Generally, you don't want to file or buff until after you've activated at least once. No shame, I have a little bit of a nick there that I'm going to try to repair by applying base and sort of re-dipping there. It did work. I cut it out, I think. Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So I'm doing the voiceover after the fact, obviously. So I did go in and I repaired this. I got a little too overzealous with my lower grit file versus my buffer. But hey, you know what? I left the mistake in so we could see how to fix it. All right, so I'm back. I'm activated. I did a little bit of cleanup filing off screen because I showed most of it in my pre-file. I used that 150, 180 grit. I cleaned off the dust. I activated again to make sure I had a nice smooth surface. And then we're going to use base gel to do my glitter ombre. So as you can see, I'm injured on my right hand. I just got out of a cast on Monday because I had a terrible allergic reaction to the resin, and I had to be really cautious with my hand. So I knew my dexterity was not going to be great, but I still wanted to do this video for you guys. So I opted to demo a different technique using base gel. So base gel, it needs to be cured with a lamp, but it allows you to work slower. And if your glitter placement isn't perfect, you can use a dotting tool or a toothpick to sort of move the glitter around and get that sort of fade that you're looking for. I do find, this is my glitter, this is Sally's Dress by Sparkle & Co. I thought it was very beautiful and a nice subtle move into fall / the spooky season. I'm stirring it up to get the glitter and the acrylic mixed in together. It's a mixture of chunky and fine glitters. I'm using my Glitter Ombre brush here to tap it on, and I'm doing it over the cap so that I can collect any extra glitters and use them for placement or use them to sprinkle. Waste not, want not, right? So after I do my tap glitter ombre, I tend to go in and dip the very tip of my nail to give it that more solid coverage at the very front of the nail, at the free edge. I don't do that to begin with. Generally, I'm using base, so it dries really fast. But when I'm using the gel, then I can go ahead and do that, and I can spread it out if I get a little bit too much in that final dip. But it worked out well here. I was able to get a nice fade, and really these colors, they go wonderfully together. I didn't even think about it. I just picked them up in my last order, and I was really trying to do something a little more autumn, a little more gold, a little more brown, but I kept being drawn back to these shades. And I tried out this idea on a swatch stick, and I was just really excited to do it, and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I went to Target for my first time since the whole world fell apart, and I found these adorable placemats in their dollar section, and they matched perfectly. So I just went with it. I thought this was a subtle move into the season. You know, we're doing some plums, we're doing some purples, some darker shades, burgundies, cranberries, garnets. Yeah, and I was just really excited once these came in. you guys ever have that problem where you just get into the zone and you don't realize how long you are spending on glitter placement? I was just really in there trying to get the perfect balance of the lavender and the blue and the gold and the orange, and there's just so many colors, and I was just being a little anal retentive on the placement, so sorry. But at least you got to see up close sort of how you can do it and how working with a gel base and putting that in as a technique, even when you're working with regular dip. You know, I'm a gel top coat person, so this just makes sense. I can do the gel base coat, I can do the glitter, I can cover with another layer of gel base coat over it to really smooth out and fill in the glitter. And then I do, 1 to 2 top coats of non-wipe shiny top coat. And you have a really solid, strong mani. And, you had time to work and play and move things around until you're satisfied. I don't know. So here we are. We're going into the machine. This is the iGel rechargeable lamp. I went in for a 60-second cure here to make sure that the base coat hardened. And then I will apply another layer of base coat and I'll cure again. So I'm using my Enailcouture shiny top coat. I really like the glaze that it gives, and it's kind of a thicker top coat. And since I was working with the glitter, I wanted to try to make sure that I really got in there and I was able to smooth it out. Then I'll cure for 60 seconds to make sure that my gel is solid and hard, and then I will actually notice a few little bumps. Wasn't quite as smooth as I wanted it to be, and that happens. We see that when we clear cap and activate and everything, so you go back in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up finish filing these. Because I did 2 layers of the gel, I have enough of a base to work with, or top, whatever, that I can go ahead and buff and file these without taking out any of that glitter. So I didn't do a clear cap, and I got lucky, and I was able to fix the issues. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to clean up the sides, I'm going to thin the nail back out and tighten up that shape again, and I will file the free edge to make it a little sharper and try to get that really nice coffin shape reestablished. And then I'll buff the top because I had noticed that some of the glitters were sticking up, and there was, not a smooth surface as I wanted. go ahead and brush off the dust from filing the front and the side walls, and I will reassess the top shape, and I'm gonna take a look, and I will actually see that I don't like the cuticle line on a few of them. So I grab my buffer and I go back in here and I reassess and start working through the shape again, thinning out the cuticle, trying to get that nice apex built back in. I found if you have a good apex, the real nail underneath doesn't take as much stress, and it won't have as many like demarcations or issues after you soak off. You really want that apex to take the brunt of any strain from the free edge. You don't have to worry about it as much if you have a shorter nail, but since I'm wearing full cover tips as an enhancement, it's going to take and spread any strain back to my natural nail, and I need to make sure that it is balanced while that happens. I grabbed an alcohol swab or wipe to go ahead and clean the dust off my nails and to make sure that any remaining base coat or top coat would be wiped away, and to cleanse the nail. After this, my surface is prepared for me to go back in with the shiny top coat, and this will be my final layer. I love seeing the glitters come back to life when I apply a gel top coat. They're just really beautiful. All right, so there we are, all cured and shiny, and it's time to finish with my Hot Mess Marla Cuticle Candy Oil. It smells delicious, a little reminiscent of remainder of summer. I need to find a new one for fall. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know down below. I'm always looking for a good scent. And I'm going ahead and I massage these in, and I put it under the nail as well. That's one way to get your nails to grow faster, is to do a daily cuticle oil and to place it under the nail as well to make sure your nail beds stay nice and healthy. And here we are, the final result. I really like how these came out. Again, like I said, we're going into the spooky season, and I really enjoyed how this came out. So I hope you guys did too. Thanks for watching. Bye.